Hi everyone, this is Dan Godla with ThoroughCare. We always get the question, how can we offer our suggestions to CMS? Well, in a recent webinar that I did with Carrie Nixon of Nixon Gwilt Law, I asked Carrie this question, and she shared some examples of how to share feedback during that CMS open comment period. I hope you enjoyed this video and get a lot out of this so you'll know how to submit your comments as well.
Let's take a step back. Before this came out in November, the procedures typically, CMS releases a proposal earlier in the year, and they usually do that around July with what they expect to cover. And then they ask for feedback during that comment period. It's time for everyone to, tell CMS how you feel about these changes. What are we missing? What do we have right? And so, Carrie, how can we let our feedback be heard? And we have a lot of small clinics on the line that say, they're not going to listen to my feedback. They'll listen to the big organizations. And I think I wanted you to talk about, Carrie, what the process is. And I appreciate that you shared with us even what a comment letter looks like. And if everyone commented to CMS, I can't even imagine how that would go over with some of the things we're requesting. So Carrie, maybe we close with talking about a minute of why feedback's important, how can even a small group make an impact, and what does the process look like for doing that?
Yeah, definitely. So you mentioned, Dan, the proposed rule comes out every year in July. That is followed by a 60-day comment period. It is the fact that the policymakers at CMS are required to read all of the comments and synthesize all of the comments that they receive. And so, they are going to hear you because they have to hear you for no other reason. But I think that CMS is particularly interested in hearing from physicians and practitioners and clinicians on the ground who are using these programs. They tend, I think, to put a lot of stock in what you're saying makes them difficult to manage or what makes them good to manage. And so I would encourage you to reach out during the comment process. Because as I mentioned, they have to read all the comments, it's really important that you pull out your main points in a very visible way. This is a very tactical thing, but you'll see on this page here, you refer to the section that the part you're referencing, you're commenting on is in. You want to pull that out. You want to say exactly what your main point is in bold and make it really straightforward so that you've got more of a chance of getting your point across than necessarily getting it lost in sort of a body of text. That's just a really tactical thing about how to make your main points heard.
Awesome. So I would encourage everyone on the call, regardless of the size of your organization, and if you are working on the ground, like Carrie said, this influences, what we talked about on this webinar next year, where we're going to say so many people made comments that look at all these great changes. But I encourage everyone to do it. We do it here at ThoroughCare. Talk to your counsel and how to write your own comments.
If you'd like to learn more about what to expect in 23 or other changes to these programs, check out our Learning Center. There's links in the description below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it below or subscribe. Thanks for watching.